The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host, and tonight, making his second appearance on The Ring and All Other Sports, is Big Bear Matouch. Jerry.
How's everything going, guys?
Good, buddy. Thank you very much for coming back on. I'm doing okay, man. Doing all right. How about you?
That's good. Not too bad, not too bad. You know, been through a couple of struggles, but
yeah, I understand
but I'm making it through, and
good.
You know, having a good time wrestling and getting on.
All right.
Life, you know.
All right. So listen, we got a lot of fan questions, and you saw the list. I got the name game is stacked. So let's just get right into it.
All right. Sounds good to me.
First question is from Jim Schultz. It's a first-time fan question guy. Thank you, Jim. What's the one thing that you would change about independent wrestling?
Actually, I think before the camera came on, we were just talking about this.
Yep.
The state of wrestling is now changed to a whole new industry. You know, you got to be able to do moonsaults, flips. You know, you don't have the old school feel that wrestling used to have. Right. You know, that you could put a submission on for 10 minutes and have the fans just believe in everything you did. Eating it up and just taking it, you know, and just working it up, working up, and all of a sudden, bang. There you go. Big time moment coming just from like a clothesline, back elbow, body slam. The guy goes for a pin, 1, 2. Oh, that doesn't happen anymore. Now it's, you know, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out. Finally, the final finisher off this finisher. Boom. All right, you're not kicking out.
Right. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Some of the flippy madness that you see today, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a different style.
Yep.
But I'd like to see some more old school, hard hitting. You know, like you just asked, Stan Hansen and Big Van Vader. Would they make it in today's wrestling? I asked the questions to the people who are watching. Do you think in today's, would they make it? Would they? The way they wrestled? I mean, Vader maybe with the moonsault, and like we were saying, Stan Hansen, that would be a gif.
The lariat.
That would be, you know, people would be watching it 30 times, and that's what would get them over. Yeah, they probably would have a successful career, but would it be as successful as the one that they have had back then? Right. I don't think it would.
And a lot of people are saying that too, which blew my mind. But like I said, I'm so old school. I'm stuck on, you know what I mean? I am. I love wrestling now, today too, but I'm so stuck on that old stuff. When people say things about them, the older school guys, I kind of get defensive, which is ridiculous.
When you wrestle down south a lot, you still see that wrestling. You still get, there's still the George South style of wrestling down there. And, you know, the Memphis style of wrestling. You can still get that in the areas in certain places. But you don't get it as much as you used to. You know, it used to be everywhere. Now it's just kind of changing. Now everybody in the East wants to see all the flips and, you know, and you got all the luchadors down in California, and it's just it's a different breeds of wrestling. A lot of breeds out there.
Well, that really was a great answer, because we were talking off air, and that was a great answer. Jim also wants to know, what's the worst injury you've ever suffered?
Well, one time I was giving a guy a sidewalk slam, and he landed on top of my foot, and my foot was pointed down. I ended up breaking every one of my toes twice. The top of the bone that holds it, I broke that in 3 different places, and basically had to get my foot reconstructed. None of it's actually metal. It's all real. Still, but it had to be like snapped all back into place and everything like that. Took me about 4 to 6 months to heal from that, but I healed back from it. It was early early incident when it happened. I
So
think I was about
early
a
in your
year
career?
in. I was about a year in, and that happened.
Right. Wow. That's a pretty serious injury. My girlfriend just broke her toe the other day, and she's been complaining about it. I'm going to have to tell her about your injury and tell her, stop crying like a baby, Maria.
Yeah, it was
That ain't
pretty
going to
bad.
go over good,
No,
trust me.
No, never does.
No. Maverick Wild wants to know, why'd you steal his corner power bomb spot that he must have taken from somebody?
He must have.
Sorry,
you
Mav.
know, you take it from the greats, Mav.
True.
You take it from the greats. You know, I watched your matches back in the day. But unfortunately, I found that from video games. I started using it after I watched it from the first Raw vs. SmackDown.
Right.
When they used to be one of the only corner moves you could do. So I was like, oh, I actually like it. It could be a pretty good
Well,
move.
it's a great move for a big guy like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Definitely is. Thanks, Mav. Mav's got one more. Mav wants to know, how does he feel the wear and tear of wrestling differs on a man of your size opposed to smaller wrestlers?
I can tell you right now, my knees feel it. You know, as I'm getting older, and, you know, I'm a big boy. You really start to feel the pain. Maybe a little bit more. You know, the impacts just get a little bit bigger.
Yep.
Especially, you know, flying over the top rope. You know, some of these guys can land on their feet. I'm not landing on my feet. I'm going flying. You know, you learn to use your weight to your advantage too. You know, when you splashes, you know, your knees are gonna fall from all the splashes we do. Now, a guy my size is gonna get it maybe a little quicker because of how much more weight's coming down, you know, especially if a 140-pound guy is coming off the top with a splash, and I'm coming off with a splash. Yeah, you know, if Joey Kilmartin, Bieber, if he are coming off with a splash and I'm coming off with a splash, whose splash is going to hurt more?
Right.
Longevity for both the opponents and me. It's, you know, it's, I don't know how much longer I'll be here in this business, and I'm trying to do as much as I can while I'm here.
Nice.
You know?
Joey, hope you know we're just teasing you, kid.
Love you, Joe.
Love you, Joey. Jim Schultz got a follow-up question after his first one. What is the one thing you would change about independent wrestling?
The one thing I would change about independent wrestling?
We already asked that. We already answered that.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Oh.
See, guys, I tell everybody all the time, I am not a professional. I'm not a professional.
It's all right. We still love you.
All right, thanks. JP Griffin, are you really half man, half bear, and all Matouch? But you know something? Seeing that he said that, George Carroll told us Daddy Cat, DC Dillinger, had the greatest nickname billing for you. Half bear, half man, all Matouch.
It's actually half man, half bear, all Matouch. He would come every time he'd see me come in the locker room. He would scream that. He'd be like, "Hey, it's Big Bear, half man, half bear, but he's all Matouch." It started with him, and a bunch of other guys used to jump on top of that. Yeah, George, thanks for that one, and JP. Yeah, you know. DC, I love that man. He was in every locker room I was in just about all the time. Always a constant. Always a great guy to talk to. You know, Buffalo Bills never gonna win another championship. Especially, well, you know, they might for him now. But he was
a Bills fan, huh?
He was.
Wow.
He was a big Bills fan. But then again, look at how the Pats are doing right now. He probably is the one looking down, laughing at me right now.
Right. Joey Kilmartin wants to know if it's your mother or was it your dad that was the bear of the family?
It was definitely the Papa Bear.
Yeah?
It was definitely the Papa Bear, yeah.
Nice.
My dad was definitely the bear of the family. Actually, in truthful, he was probably more of a bear than I was a bear. Cause I don't have much hair.
Right.
But him, he could walk outside and you'd think he had a T-shirt on. Or,
wow.
You know, he had full coat.
George the Animal Steel.
George the Animal Steel style, exactly. Actually had a little skunk patch right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sonny Goodspeed, who I will be doing a cooking show with soon.
Can't wait for that.
Yes, Sonny says, who trained you? What was the hardest part about training? And finally, we'll just go with that for now. Who trained you, and what was the hardest part about the training?
I was actually trained by Tony Roy and Bob Rush, the French Connection.
Yep.
Also with Richard Burns. The hardest part about training, honestly, had to be the fact of getting over my fears of going over the top rope.
Yep.
Just taking the bumps.
Right.
And just getting over the fear of this isn't going to hurt me.
Right.
I'm not going to knock the guy out next to me. I'm not, we got to just keep going and run through these classes, run through these drills. And I'm telling you, some of the drills that we used to run are tough. I mean, like I said, for Mav's question, I'm a bigger guy.
Right.
Doing all the same drills as all these little guys, and I did everything.
Yep.
5 years at Burns's, I did everything you can imagine. And it's just not giving up.
Right.
That's the not giving up and just let the fears go.
Nice, nice. He also wants to know, finally, about the training, finally, why did you have that long hiatus that you had taken, and how long was it, Jerry?
It was a good couple years.
Okay.
I had the hiatus because, from 2008 was a bad year for me.
Okay.
I got into a car accident and just got into some problems.
Yep.
I went with it. I really wasn't able to wrestle for a while because of the car accident.
Right.
And then when I was better, I just was almost at the point where I was thinking about giving up. And then the school that I was going, Richard Burns's Tang Soo Do and Superstar Pro Wrestling, closed down.
Okay.
So I had nowhere to go from where I thought, where I was. I could have gone to Chaotic in North Andover.
Yep.
I was living in Malden at the time.
Was Hollow training back then? Or was
I think he was still training.
Okay.
Actually, I think he was laddering off of the training, and it was more Hansen and Malonis doing the training then.
Right.
Which I didn't mind, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I started around the same time they did.
Right.
So it was like, do I really want to go to guys that are training, the same age as I have been, and so I was like, didn't go there. Then Jay's opened up.
Belt time.
In Everett.
Yeah.
At first. So I took a little
I
while.
saw you there a lot, by the way.
And then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Let me go. So then I started going again, and since then I did take another little time off, but that was because I got married and vacation.
Oh yeah.
You take a little bit off, but
Right.
that was most of it. Is that I got into the car accident, and then I didn't when I went back to training. I didn't go back to doing shows right away.
Oh, okay.
I decided that I want to be. I'm doing this to try and get in shape.
Right.
And when I was at there, I was getting in pretty good shape. I got down to 300 pounds.
Yep.
A doctor really messed me up. That's why I'm bigger again.
Okay.
He gave me these pills that were supposed to help me lose weight. They ended up working weird with the blood sugars in my body.
Yep.
And, it ended up just grabbing more glucose on top of it. So I gained 100 pounds of sugar weight. Wow. And it's just been hard to get it off. I mean, I go to the gym at least 3-4 times a week.
Right.
Plus, I'm going to the class every Tuesday and Thursday still. Nice. So, but shout out to Bell Time. Been there for a long time now.
Bo's still doing the
still
training.
doing
Anybody
it,
else
yeah.
down there helping with the training?
It's me, Bo. McCarthy comes in every once in a while. Benny Jukes is a staple down there. He's always training kids down there.
What a talented kid, huh?
That kid is an amazing trainer and teacher of wrestling.
Nice.
I'll give him a lot of credit, and I'll give Bo a lot of credit.
Right.
They do wonders with the kids out of there. Alec Price, if you haven't seen him wrestle yet, that is a kid that is going to be phenomenal.
You got that
Channing
right.
Thomas is another kid that is making a big name.
Yep.
Another one, Connor Davies, who's riding Channing's coattail right now with the bro gimmick. He is doing a phenomenal job out there.
Tim
Lennox, another one, doing a phenomenal job.
Great.
Dan Terry, another one, going out there doing a phenomenal job. all came. I remember when Dan Terry first came to the Belltime Club. I remember when Tim Lennox first came to the Belltime Club. Hell, I remember when Joey Kilmartin first came to the Belltime Club. Now he's terrible at wrestling.
Nice. But yeah, I got the kid Alec Price.
Yeah.
Seriously, kid is gonna be a star.
He's gonna be something.
Honestly, as long as hopefully injuries don't get to him, and he keeps, he keeps plugging away.
Keeps plugging away.
His matches with Benny, the night that Chris Dickinson made his UFO debut.
Oh, him and the night he gave my grandmother a lap dance.
yeah. Well,
Hi, Chris.
After the Malonis Dickinson match, a lot of people like, who's gonna follow that? Benny and Alec.
They killed it.
They stole the show.
They stole the show.
No doubt in my mind, they stole the show that night. I actually was lucky enough to tell them at the event Brian Privatera had with the ambulance and UFO wrestling. I went down there and I told them because, man, that kid's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, I remember I was there.
Yeah,
I was there
that's
for
right.
it,
You were hanging with him. Yeah, he's awesome. Great kid, too.
He is.
Best JP Griffin, best memory of DC.
So, all right. So the old Belltime Club in Everett had like a little, almost like a bar booth.
Okay.
On the top.
Is that the one behind 7-Eleven?
Yeah, the one behind 7-Eleven. So we're up there and we're having a Christmas party. We're all, drinking,
his
having
favorite
a good time.
holiday.
Oh yeah, his favorite holiday.
Yep.
We're all getting a little drunk. Yep. All having a good time. And DC's behind the bar. And someone said something to piss DC off about him not being athletic. So he completely box jumps.
Right.
And now he's probably about 6 or 7 Captain Cokes in. At least.
Right.
At least. Completely box jumps, lands on it, and he's like, all right, all you mother effers here, you listen to me now. Unathletic? I am not effing unathletic. I will kick all your asses.
Right.
I was just
and
like,
he would have.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just started dying. We all just started cheering for him.
That's
Everyone was
awesome.
taking videos of it. It was great. It was a fun time.
Probably the greatest heel New England's ever seen.
Easy.
Seriously.
Easy.
I mean, he didn't have to open his mouth. Seriously. He didn't even the look he'd give
mad
the fans.
just because it was taking him 5 minutes to get to the ring.
I think he loved doing that.
He did. Oh,
I remember someone was on here and they told the story how one time he let the whole song play through, and the DJ's like, and they're like, play it again, man.
Keep playing.
Wow. Anthony Mark Balkus wants to know, who have you not wrestled in New England from any company that you would love to wrestle?
Wow. There's a lot of guys.
There is. You can pick a few if you want. You don't have to just stick to one.
There's a lot. There's I've never actually gotten in there with Malonis. That'd be fun.
Oh, wow.
I think that'd be a good
I figured
time.
you would have wrestled him.
Everyone would have thought that.
Yeah.
No one ever wants to big man versus big man. I've faced his brother plenty of times.
Yeah. Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, never him. Let's see. Some of the kids coming out of Chaotic, they're good. Channing Thomas, I've never actually wrestled him on a show.
You got a chance to, though, probably, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I should at some point.
Right.
Alec, I just wrestled on a show a couple weeks ago out in Maine.
Was that for the IWE? Is that what it was?
NAWA.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Larry Huntley's thing. Yeah. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
We had a really good match, I thought. Yeah. But if we were to go to tag teams, the guys, the Mainstay Posse, those guys, they're tearing it up. Those guys
sure
would be
are,
a bad
man.
team to, for me and Bugsy.
Yeah.
Other than that, the JC and the 5-Star Spectacle there, those guys, they're good kids. I'd like to get in the ring with them, Tim and me, every time we get in the ring, we tear it up. So.
Have you ever wrestled Slick?
I've actually never wrestled Slick. No.
I'd like to see that.
No, I've had it like battle royals and stuff like that. Nothing big. I think it was a 8-man tag schmaz that they had. But never like 1-on-1.
Right.
That would be pretty cool.
Did you wrestle Jay?
Yeah, I've wrestled Jay a few times.
You must have wrestled Jay.
Gotta love wrestling Jay.
Man, former NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, 2-time.
Bo always complains to me I broke his back, so I can't
say. Come on, Bo, lay off.
But no, I love Bo. He's always a great guy to wrestle. But for guys that I haven't wrestled, I'd say, like, yeah, the Mainstay Posse. Brad Hollister's pretty good. You know, I'd like to maybe get in the ring with him. I see he likes to pick up some big guys.
Oh, yeah.
Throw them around. Yeah. See if he can throw me around.
Talented kid, too, huh? Big time. What about, like you said, some of the chaotic kids, like Christian Casanova?
Yeah, you know.
Cam Zagami.
I've wrestled Cam.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah. Because a lot of people overlook Cam, you know, because of how Christian's doing so great. But Young Lions Cup winner, man. Chikara Young Lions Cup. Cam's no joke.
He's no joke.
No joke.
I'd like to wrestle, like, you know, Vern. Vern's pretty good, you know.
I'd like to see him in the ring with Josh Briggs, too.
Yeah, Josh,
that would be awesome.
You know, he started out the Bell Time Club for a little while, you know. He's doing it big now.
Yeah, he's doing great.
I'm glad for him, you know.
Yeah. No doubt.
Very happy for him.
Well, yeah, you know, you've always been, as long as I've known, a really easygoing guy to get along with, you know.
I'll face anyone. Put me in the ring and we'll just go.
Right.
We'll have fun.
Have you ever wrestled this legend, Brickhouse Baker? Best match ever. What's your best match ever? And did you ever wrestle Brickhouse?
Let me see. Did I wrestle Brickhouse? I think I wrestled him in a tag match with him and Jose at one point.
Nice.
This was a long time ago,
must not have liked the chops that night.
Oh, man. Jose. Well, you know what?
Him and Rick.
See, I had no problem with Jose chopping me because I just went through with Rick Fuller.
Oh, all right.
So I just had, you know.
So you knew it was
like
coming.
I was like, you know what? This is nothing. Let's go. I had no problem with it.
Oh. Scott Emerson wants to know, any favorite promotions you've worked for? And if you feel like not saying, you know what I mean, like any ones that you weren't happy with, just any favorites that you really enjoy working for?
Well, you know, I always like working big time wrestling.
Yep.
It's always a great time.
Right.
Always have a good time.
Now, who owns that?
Steve Perkins and
Terry Allen?
Terry Allen. Okay. The two guys who run that. It's a great promotion. You know, they always have great talent on their show.
Pack shows, too.
And they always pack shows.
Right.
And it's always a pretty good card, you know?
Yep.
Danny Miles does a pretty good job helping them out, and Flex Armstrong,
talented kid.
Very talented kid.
Both of
them. You know, all of them. Every guy who works in that locker room is very talented, you know?
Does Tony Delfonso still work for them at all?
No, I don't think so.
Because him and the Delfonso brothers, man, they were a staple with those guys for a long time. And that was a really good tag team.
Yeah. No, Tony and Bam Shaw, they definitely made a great tag team for a while there.
Definitely. I'm going to save Dan Bolier's question for me, because I got a couple of my own.
Okay.
You have had it's from Leo Connors, whoever that guy is.
All right.
You have had an on and off rivalry with Bugsy Stone. Have you ever, I brought this up to you off air, have you ever thought about teaming up with him and run rampant through New England? I think he's good.
Honestly, I would love to see that happen. I think me and Bugsy would, aesthetically, we make a great looking team.
Yep.
If we could get some promoters down to do it, I would be greatly appreciated and happy with it. Shout out to Joe and Moakley, you know.
Joe
and
Mike,
and Mike, if you guys want to bring me down there and have me and Bugsy tear it up down there for you, I'll gladly come down.
Be awesome.
You know, I think it would be. I think we'd really make a good team, and I think it would be something that the fans would like to see.
Yeah. Pat Dillon.
Yeah.
UFO. You guys are both booked for those shows.
He's already let us do it a couple times. So,
okay. Yeah.
You know, we went last time. It was us against the Murder Lodge, so it would definitely be something good for the fans, especially, you know, after what happened at Fenway with everything that. I think it would be time for, like, if the people in New England would want to book us and put us out there, now's the time. I think it would be the best time to do it.
Yeah. And like I said, man, I think you guys would kill it. I think you guys would be quite the dynamic of a tag team.
Yeah.
Two big, giant guys go around smashing everybody in the mouth.
You know? But, again, we were talking different time in wrestling.
Exactly. I have another question. If you could turn back time, what wrestlers would you consider a dream match? Can be multiple answers. Definitely want to know what New England legends you would have liked to have faced. So anybody in wrestling in general, and then a couple from New England.
Vader. Yeah. I always wanted to get in there with Vader. Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty would have been a great one to get in the ring with.
Yep.
Hell, Walter when he was younger, that would have been
Killer,
that would have been great. Now you want from around
Yeah,
here.
like guys from the past,
You know-
or even guys now that you would like to wrestle.
Guy I really wanted to wrestle and I never got the chance to
Yep.
is Latin Fury, Luis Ortiz. Well, Demon now, Luis
What a
Ortiz.
talent.
What a talent, man. That guy had everything.
Absolutely.
Them, Damon D'Arcangelo and Steve
Another
King.
kid. Wow.
Another, I would have loved to have wrestled
The
them. Me
Archangels.
and Bugsy versus them.
Oh,
Imagine
yeah.
that match.
That would be
You know,
fantastic.
that would be a nice hard hitting.
Even the Crown Jewels, him and Jay.
Him and Jay, the Crown Jewels. You know, Jay and Bo.
Yep.
You know, have them tag as the 2K club.
Right.
You know.
I think guys like you, that have been around New England, appreciate Damon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I do too.
Yeah.
That guy gets, in my eyes, he gets overlooked from how good he really is.
'Cause of
People
the
say he's
character.
good, but in my eyes, I thought he was great. I
thought
did.
he was.
know?
Every time he came down, I learned so much from
Oh,
him.
I can imagine,
You know,
yeah.
he used to come down to Richards all the time. He was one of Tony's good friends, so
Right.
along with Steve King, they used to come down to the school all the time, and they would teach us so much when we first started, and it was great.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, he's both those guys, like
Yeah.
you said. The Archangels, man, I'll never forget their tag team. They were phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. Dan Bolia, you really want to do this again? Do you see Ricochet being the face of WWE?
You know, that kid has talent. That kid has a lot of talent.
Yes.
He has the physical aspects that WWE would look for, especially with the high flying novels of today.
The speed.
The speed, the everything. I mean, he has that it look. He has that little it factor that could make him. Yeah, he could definitely get to the top of it, but it's not up to me.
Right, right.
You
And
know,
the
up
army.
to the higher ups.
Right.
That with the WWE, will
never
he?
know.
Maybe.
Right.
Should he? Probably. Can he? Time will tell.
Right. Great answer. Dan, do you like that answer? You can keep asking everybody that's a guest. I have no problem with that. Love you, Dan. But yeah, I have to say it too. He called him a mid-carder.
No,
Yeah,
the kid has too much aspect.
Right.
He's not going to be a mid carder down in NXT.
Right.
If they brought him up, there's no way he's going to be a mid carder.
Right.
But then again, look at Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hear you. And I respect Dan's look on it too. Believe me, it's just something about the kid, man. I love Ricochet. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's got all the attributes that you need.
The it factors.
Yep, the it factors. All right, we're moving on to the name game.
All right.
All right, so let's bring up the guy that I'm going to be doing a cooking show with, Mr. Sonny Goodspeed.
I've only had a couple of run-ins with Sonny.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to be around. Fun to talk to. But other than that, I really never got to sit down and have a good conversation with him, see what he was really. But every time I've seen him, yeah, good guy.
Nice. This guy passed away a few years ago, and he worked for Big Time Wrestling all the time. AJ Matrano.
Yeah. When he died, there was a big hole that needed to be filled for Big Time Wrestling that I don't think ever will be filled.
Right.
That kid was the heart and soul of a lot of people in that locker room.
Yeah.
And we miss you, buddy. We really do. There's a
Talented.
lot of people that'll miss you, and I can tell you that.
Right.
He's very talented, very good kid.
Well, I'll tell you, we were just saying Tony D'Alfonso.
Yeah.
He keeps his memory alive,
Oh, yeah.
posting things all the time.
I was
you know.
actually AJ's first match. We did up in
Really?
Maine for Tony Atlas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How about Tony D'Alfonso?
Actually, me and Tony didn't live far away from each other growing up. I actually never even really knew that until I started wrestling with
Right.
him. And I was like, no,
So you guys grew up in
I
the
thought
same
I knew
neighborhood?
you. Yeah, we grew up right in Malden,
Wow.
just around the same neighborhood. He's a good kid, A lot of my friends.
Hell of a talent.
Yeah, hell of a talent. Hell of a. I wish he'd come back to wrestling sometimes.
Me too.
But he has a love-hate relationship with the wrestling world. So,
Yeah.
never know. But you never know.
Right. Would love to see you come back, Tony.
Love you, Tony.
former opponent of yours, DC Hannon.
DC Hannon.
Who's never been brought up on this show.
No.
Ever. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's no knock on him. I just,
No.
you know.
You know, he wasn't around for very long.
Yep.
Kid I knew, had a few matches with him. Good kid,
Yeah.
good talent. He's lives out in Florida now. Just doing his regular thing, you know, nothing special. He does help out with a product out in California, from what I do know, though. He helps book it and stuff like that. And gives him some tips.
Eric Eagle.
Bam Shaw.
Yeah.
Good guy. You know, we've had our ups and downs. So I've known him since he was 16 years old.
Oh wow.
He's known
He's
me.
a big dude too. Good
big
sized
dude.
guy.
Oh yeah. I remember him as a little freckle-faced kid. And,
Yeah.
You know, to see him grow up the way he's grown up and what he's done in the business. You know, hell of a kid, hell of a guy now. Actually, can't say he's a kid no more. Definitely grown all up. Haven't seen him in a long time though. But hopefully, I know he had a knee problem. Hopefully, he's coming back from that and making a comeback soon.
Nice. Would like to see you back in the ring for sure, Eric. Bam. Whatever you want to call yourself today. Jack Maverick.
Me and Jack had a bunch of matches back in the day.
I actually watched one today.
Yeah.
Yep. I did.
We actually got to relive it a few years ago back in it for the NECW. It was supposed to be a squash match, and Jack looked at me. He's like, "I'm not squashing you. There's no way. There's no effing way I'm squashing you. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna have a match. 5-6 minutes, whatever. Doesn't matter. But we're gonna go out there and have a match. There's no way I'm gonna squash you." I was like, you know, I appreciate that.
That's a good dude right there.
I mean, you know,
great talent too.
I helped him when he was first coming up. You know, me and him, we go a long ways back.
Nice.
When he first started, I remember I was like the first person that was actually helping him adjust to wrestling and learning how to do everything. He caught on quick, and we had a few quick matches, and next thing you know, he just blew up.
Right. Oh, he definitely did.
I like to say I help people sometimes with some of the matches we have. I make them look so good, and they're then the ones that end up going somewhere.
I don't see him around enough either. That's all I want to say. Honestly, I wish he would wrestle for more promotions.
Me too.
Because he's very talented, man. I
love
his gimmick too. I do.
But he's also older.
Right.
So, never know.
We brought these two guys up earlier. They had a great match at UFO, but we'll go one at a time. Benny Jukes.
Benny Jukes. Man, what can I say about that kid? One of the best kids I know. Good friend. Like a brother. He knows my whole family.
Right.
Everything.
That's awesome.
It's the whole setup. You know, he comes over for Christmas. Everything.
Oh wow.
You know,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's like having another brother. You know?
Right.
Even though most of the guys in wrestling were like a big family.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
But me and Benny have been like the dynamic duo.
Right.
Especially the Bell Time Club.
Nice. I'm actually going to skip over Alec Price because we already did talk about him when we put him over, and he's a young guy. Yeah. We don't want to put him over too much, right?
I don't want to flatten him. I don't want to put his head too big.
You just worked for him, or you have worked for him in the past. Larry Huntley.
Larry Huntley. Good, good guy. I've never really had a problem with him. Always had fun working for him and working with him. We've wrestled each other a few times, a couple times for APW when I was doing that the dumb golf gimmick that they had for me. Thank God that didn't last.
How about Mr. USA, Tony Atlas?
Oh man,
I know you've been around him a lot, so
I actually just got done having a 2-hour ride in Maine with him, all the way up into New Portland or something like that.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours back to his house. Had him with Alec, by the way.
Yeah.
Man, he goes on and on and on talking about some of the craziest stories I don't think I'd ever believe. He tells me that he's 74 years old, and he's like, but on Google it says you're 64. He's like, oh, I went on there and changed it. How do you go on there and change Google?
Oh my God. That's hilarious. Former tag team partner of yours, Lumberjake.
Lumberjake, the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Great kid. Big kid.
Yeah.
You know, I love having like those big guys to wrestle or tag with. Aesthetically, you look good. You know, it looks better than especially a lumberjack and a bear.
Yeah.
You know, couldn't go wrong with that.
Nice.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Really good to hang out with and have a good time with.
Nice. Kyle Storm. Kick-ass Kyle Storm.
Kyle Storm. That guy, man, he is one of the meanest mother effers I've ever met.
He looks mean.
But he is a good guy.
Yeah.
He knows, you know, he knows what he wants in wrestling, and he knew what he wanted. But man, do not get him pissed off at you before before a match with him. He's gonna kick the ever living crap out of you.
Dan Terry, DTF.
Dan Terry, DTF with his man milk.
Yep.
Oh man, what can I say about Dan Terry? Great kid, great kid. Known him since he started. Has the little twerks if you ever noticed it. But you know what? He's made a gimmick that I didn't think would go anywhere.
Right.
And he went with it.
Yep.
And it's turned it into something that was pretty funny.
It is.
You know, it's not serious. It's not the greatest thing, but it's something that fits him perfect, and he does it to a T.
And I'd like to see you and Bugsy take on him and Vern. That'd be a hell of a match.
Be a hell of a match.
Jason Stewart.
Tall. That's about all I can say about him. Is he's tall, man. I love him. Good guy. Ring announcer for the old school NWA.
Yep.
You know, that's basically how I remember him.
Right.
As, you know, back in the day, he used to be the ring announcer when I first started for Jay. Don't ever play him in fantasy football, though. He
Really?
cheats.
He cheats. Wow.
Love you, Jason.
All right, we already talked about Bo. How about Pat Dillon?
Pat Dillon, the guy who runs the place.
Yes.
You know, me and Pat go pretty far back now. I've been wrestling for him since the first couple years he started the UFO promotion.
Nice.
You know, always a fun time at his shows. You know, he lets me do whatever I want.
Right.
You know, and doesn't put much tempt on what we're gonna do. You know, just lets you, hey, go with what you got. This is who's going over.
Nice.
Not a problem. All right, I got you.
Pat is a great guy. How about a guy that's retiring from the wrestling business coming soon? Paul Richard.
Paul Richards. He's another mainstay down at the Bell Time Club.
Right.
Comes down there all the time. Puts in a lot with the kids, teaching them, especially with the new school refs coming in and stuff like that.
Right.
When we have a new ref, he's great to have around. I'm gonna miss him. I hope he does still come around the school every once in a while.
Right.
Even though he's retired. Hopefully he has fun. Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'll be in Niagara Falls that weekend, so I won't be at the show. But
yeah, I'm going.
NECW, if you guys can get down to there, get down to that show. Go see Paul retire. You're going to be losing a great productionist and great referee from old school ECW.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is the man.
No doubt about that. Guy that he works for, Sheldon Goldberg.
There's a lot I could say about Sheldon. You know, honestly, I would never want to work for him again.
Okay.
I had some bad run-ins with him. Great. I don't mind the guy.
Yeah.
But the businessman is a completely different story. He's booked so many shows and then canceled so many shows. You kind of look at it like that. That's why I was like, you know, I seen he was running the 13th, but I was like, I'm not going to try and cancel my vacation because you're running. I don't even know if it's going to be a show that's going to happen and it's going to cancel.
Okay. I'm going to go jump in and get a couple women on here.
All right.
Lizzie Reyes.
Oh, jeez.
Tall.
Lizzie.
Talk about tall.
Another tall. The Jolly Green Giant over there.
Beautiful girl.
Wonderful lady. Wonderful. Clumsy as an elf, but wonderful. Unfortunately, she's had some ankle troubles and can't wrestle no more.
I did not know that.
Yeah, she's out of wrestling now. She has a bar out in Alston that she works at, and she's the manager of, I believe.
Wow.
And so, good luck in her future endeavors and stuff
Maybe
like that.
but maybe we can meet up there and have a couple drinks.
Yeah. But honestly, I love Lizzie. She's a great person. Always fun to be around.
Yeah, she's always been nice to me too.
Yeah, always a great person.
How about a great talent from here, tied in with the with DC too, from back in the day, Nikki Rocks.
Nikki Rocks. When I first started, Nikki Rocks was actually going out with DC, and they were coming to the school in Malden and beating the crap out of us. They were.
That's not a surprise.
They'd leave Bradley's school, come down to our school, and then we were getting the crap kicked out of us. I know her whole family.
Right.
Great girl. She's right from Malden.
Yeah.
Nikki, her brother, really good kid. Can't say much more about them, but except that she's a really nice person. Always has been. Every time I see her, always great to talk to her.
Nice. How about Ron Rivera?
Ron Rivera. I was
SOG.
looking at that name. Oh, okay. I was like, I only know him as SOG.
Right.
Ron Rivera. I'm like, Ron Rivera. Oh man, SOG. That kid looks like a wrestler from the 80s.
Yes.
He really does.
Yeah.
He looks like a wrestler from the 80s.
Yep.
And you know what? He respects the fact that he looks like a wrestler from the 80s.
Right.
And that's what I
And
love
rolls
about the
with
kid.
it.
And he rolls with it. He has the lineage. He has the whole thing with the pointed and the SOG and his tag team. I forget what his tag team name is, but with Doc Ozone and Osiris.
He was next.
Doc Ozone.
Doc Ozone.
Oh man, that guy is a player and a half.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Funny.
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah, love to be around him.
Nice. How about a referee? And is he a crooked referee? Rob Tuttle.
Oh, he's as crooked as they come.
Is he?
If you know Rob Tuttle, he's as crooked as they come. I actually just rode with him Saturday to Elkmania show.
Oh, okay.
He was my ref for that match too. We had a nice little 8-way, but yeah,
It's a good ref.
He calls it down the line.
I tried, Rob. I tried.
Love you, Rob.
How about a guy that's very, very talented, and I could see NXT scooping him up soon? Teddy Goods.
Teddy Goods. Teddy Goods, he's the big time crowds and stuff like that love him. People love him.
They do.
People absolutely love that guy. Always good, always fun to be around. Politics a lot.
Yeah.
Politics a lot. If he doesn't make it in wrestling, he's gonna make it as a politician.
Nice.
Especially with that mustache.
How about you brought him up earlier too? I don't know if it was on air or off air. Brian Malonis.
Brian Malonis. Actually, I think we did. He was one of the guys around New England that I'd want to wrestle.
Right.
I never wrestled him. I've been in many locker rooms with him.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. One of the guys that, when my dad came down sick, he was right there asking me, hey man, how you doing? How's everything going?
That's a good man right there.
And I was like, I greatly appreciate that to this day, that he was one of the guys that really asked how everything was.
And you could tell he cared.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have asked if he didn't care. How about another Brian? Brian Privatera, Aaron Amadeus.
Aaron Amadeus. Man, he likes to get heat on Facebook with Freddie Moxley. That's one thing I could say about him. Him and that Silver Fox, that stuff is hilarious.
I love it. The dumpster one was great.
Freddie's not a wrestler. Freddie's going to come to a show with like a gun or something and end up killing you guys. Please stop before that happens.
Well, I loved it when they did Cribs. They did the show Cribs, and Freddie, I guess, lives in a dumpster, and I don't know, where were they, Everett?
Everett or Malden, I think. I hope. I think that's where he lives.
That was funny.
That was.
How about, I haven't brought him up too often on the show, but I'm very impressed with him. Bobby Ocean.
Bobby Ocean. The kid's impressive. He worked at Slick's last show that I was at. He was hurt 3/4 of the way in the match, and he finished that match up.
Nice.
Kid's got one stiff clothesline. I seen him give Mike McCarthy a concussion with it.
Wow.
But He's a good talent.
Yeah.
Anyone who gets a chance to work with him, I think he really gets a good showing and gets a you know, he really helps elevate the opponent that he gets. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's definitely connected. He wrestles for Slick all the time. So how about Slick Wagner Brown?
Slick, what can I say about Slick except, you know, he's the underground king.
Yep.
He's been around forever now. He's been a mainstay in this eastern Massachusetts, eastern, the whole New England area. He's been a mainstay there, you know, and anything that he gets, he deserves.
Right.
He's worked his tail off for it.
So talented.
Yeah.
Very talented. How about another big guy? Big Woody.
Big Woody. I love Big Woody. You know, I remember when Burley decided to go to the Knuckle Busters and he was going to be with Big Woody, and I was like, who the hell is Big Woody? And then I remembered Big Woody, and I was like, oh, man. I was like, why couldn't I be a Knuckle Buster?
Right.
I love Big Woody. He's the man. But to each his own. It got to Bugsy instead of me.
Well, you would have added another dynamic to him. That's for sure. How about Don Vega?
Don Vega.
Guy that's always impressed me.
He great guy. I remember I was at, before the Fenway show, we had a little interview thing set up for the El Mundo Festival. Now, if anyone knows the El Mundo Festival, it's a Spanish Latin festival that goes on at Fenway.
Yep.
So everyone's cutting little promos in Spanish, all the musicians and stuff like that. The guy Dante, who helps run the Fenway show, Dante Luna, shout out to you.
Yes.
He comes out and cuts a little promo in Spanish about the wrestling and stuff, and he calls Don Vega up. Don Vega starts speaking, well, I've been wrestling for 20-something years. Dante goes, hey, come on, do it in Spanish. It's like, dude, you would have thought 20 years of wrestling, you might would have thought that, you know, you would have cut the Spanish promo. But nope.
That's funny.
That was fun.
Now, I've never brought this guy up on the show ever, and I can't believe it. In 3 years, I never brought him up. But Ralph Squilante, is that how you say his last name?
Ralph that's actually Mike Hollow's brother-in-law.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or brother, yeah, something like that.
Good guy, man.
He is. He's a great guy. I forget what he dancing Paul Romer or something like that. He had some weird name that used disco something.
Was that Tony Roma?
Tony Roma. There you go.
That's
Disco
what
Tony Roma.
Yep.
Good guy. Great guy. Always had fun, but he would tell you he'd be somewhere and he'd never make it. Never. He'd be late for everything.
How about another Ralph who's always at the big time shows and Pat shows with the merchandise? Ralph Terrazzano.
Big Ralph.
Big Ralph.
He's a great guy. Always vaping over in the corner.
Yep.
Every time I've had a connection with him, you know, we've always, hey, what's going on, brother? Sitting down, talking, shooting the crap. You know, always fun. Always hitting the vape gun. Always.
Nice. George Carroll Jr.
Just like DC, Eddie Edwards, and all them, George Carroll actually used to come down and critique matches and stuff like that, tell us how we were, and I'll forever be thankful for that because look where the guy is now. I mean, he must know something to be where he is.
There's no doubt.
He's a great mind for the business.
Yes.
He has a great knowledge for wrestling.
Yep.
And he knows what's good and what's not.
Right.
He knows good wrestling when he sees it.
Nice. Great things going for George. Vern Vicalo.
Vern, I always liked him. I think he's a really good talent.
Yep.
He is always remaking himself, always doing something different with himself, always finding a new niche for himself.
Right.
And I find that very appreciative, especially for a guy like me because, you know, I don't go out there as the same all the time.
Right.
I always try and change something, look something different.
Right.
You know, try and get the crowd to notice, you know. And if you can get that niche, then you get seen, you know. So hopefully one day we'll see him get seen.
Yes. My guest from last week, Mike Hollow.
I've known Mike Hollow for a very long time. He used to come, well, he came to Richards a couple of times. just before a couple shows that Richard had for the USWF. And he, worked with some of the kids and stuff like that and I learned a hell of a lot from him. And just a couple of times that we've met and talked, even when he's come down to the Belltime Club. I'll be one of the. I'm like a giddy schoolgirl when I see him. I'm like, oh, time to get dressed. Get up in there. Let's go. It's like being back at first day of training. When you see him walk in the door, because it's like you wanna impress him.
Right. How about J.P. Griffin?
Great guy. He has his own podcast too, the Irish Whip. He's a good guy. I've known him for years. He's been around forever. He's just a little bit of basically a hired hand mostly. But you know what? He knows a lot. When he sees something good, he sees it. He's given me a lot of good pointers in the past, and I've definitely made some good changes because of him.
Nice. We're going to go into some young stars right now, kids that are starting to kill it around here. Anthony Green, retrosexual Anthony Green.
I thought you said young stars. I feel like he's been around for like 40 years.
It does seem like it, right? He's still young.
I remember when he was like 13 years old and at the MWF reffing. And chubby little kid that you never expected to make it. But man, he's out there. He's killing it. His thirst for knowledge in the wrestling business is by far none. He is one of the best guys out there. If you want to learn from someone who's been around the business, or if you want to wrestle someone that's been around the business for as long as, like a guy like me, but is only like 26, he'd be the guy to book.
Yeah, no, a lot of talent. And I mean, he's killing it with the Platinum Honeys, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's really smart gimmick.
Who can't kill that?
Josh Briggs. Chances are he don't like us.
Chances are he hates me. Every time I've ever had the chance to work with Josh, it's always he's so easygoing. He's like a big teddy bear, kind of like me. But the guy is killing it out there. He is. He hasn't been wrestling for that long. And man, he just blew up so quick. And
for him to do what he's doing.
For him to be doing what he's doing, he's exceeding all limits. And he's just the guy that shows don't the sky's the limit. Don't try and go set a limit for yourself. Go beyond that limit.
He's so talented. The chaotic heavyweight champion right now, JT Dunn.
JT, when I came up, he was riding a lot of coattails. The guy is made it so people want to wrestle him. You know what I'm saying? People ask for him specifically. I can't say I blame him. The kid's good. He knows what he that forearm. Everything he does, it looks so good.
Death by elbow. It's pretty much
death by elbow.
Same thing.
The same thing that Chris Hero's been doing forever. Kind of gave it to him. Man, he's working it though. He gets work everywhere.
He does.
So I don't know how he does it, but he gets work everywhere in the United States.
No doubt.
And he's killing it.
He is killing it. How about Trooper Gilmore, Jimmy Allen?
Troop. He needs to stop smoking cigarettes before he loses his voice. But no, I love Troop. Can't always count on him, but he's always, when you need him, he'll be there. But good guy. His crazy chainsaw bastard gimmick's a little better than the Trooper Gilmore.
It's pretty funny.
Sorry to tell you.
Nice. D.L. Hurst, guy that broke his leg not too long ago, and hopefully he's healing up quickly because he was killing it everywhere.
He really was. From what I've seen. I've only met him a couple of times down at a couple of the live prov shows for Sully Banger. He's a great kid. He's funny, nice, always respectable. Just from the couple of times I've met him, he was always respectful, always shook everybody's hand, said hi, came up to you, made you feel like you were somebody, even if you weren't.
Nice. Ike.
Ike. That kid is one of the nicest but craziest people I have ever met. I don't ever know what's going to come out that kid's mouth, I tell you right now.
I don't think he knows.
I don't think so either. And then his gimmick in wrestling is just crazy.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
I love it. Evan 6.
I've known Evan for a long time. He's an honest person.
Yeah.
I'll put it like that. He's a straight shooter. Very straight shooter. If he didn't like you, he didn't like you. If he liked you, then you knew it.
Right.
I was always on his good side.
Yep.
I think I'd hope that Evan always liked me. We had some fun matches a few times. One out in New York that I can remember with Tim Lennox.
Yep.
You know, I can't say nothing bad about him except he's a straight shooter, and if he really wanted to mess you up, he was gonna mess you up.
Right. Slam dance, Tim Lennox.
I love that kid. That kid will always be one of my favorites from the Bell-Time Club, especially from the old school Bell-Time Club in Everett. I've watched him come up from his little shadow gimmick where he came out with the book, and now he's doing the slam dance, and he now looks like a wrestler. When I first met him, he is meh. He looked all sloppy. The kid is a great kid. He loves doing this deathmatch stuff.
Yep.
He's a little crazy, but honestly, he's gonna make it at some point. He's gonna do something.
Nice. We got a minute left. Ashley Vox.
Ashley Vox. That's one of the C stars, right?
Yes.
She's out there killing it right now.
She's going all over the place.
She just did ROH, I believe.
Yep. She did Shine or Shimmer, one of those two.
Shimmer
one
or
of those.
Shine, I'm not sure.
Yep.
She's the real catch, right?
Yes.
And then the other one's her sister.
Yep.
Both of them very talented.
The next one is Jocelyn.
Yeah. Jocelyn, that was the shock girl, right?
Yes. Every
time I see her, I just think of that Baby Shark song.
Right.
Baby Shark, doo-doo-doo.
Nah, she's great. Listen, Bear, it's been great having you on again. I'll send you some more dates. You know, we'll talk about TV wrestling, what we see.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey.
So, guys, for Big Bear Matouch, I'm Leo Connors for the Ring and All Other Sports, and we're out. Peace!
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.